Well, let's go back to Pakistan and Ahmed Qureshi. We're talking about a new Pakistani military operation against the Baloch separatists. Now, this is a group that straddles Afghanistan, Pakistan and Iran. And interestingly, Ahmed, Iran is blaming Israel for backing some of these groups. Break it down for us.
Yeah, well, Iran blames everything on Israel. And if you recall, early this year in January, they fired missiles inside Pakistan and also Iraq and Syria, and they claimed they attacked Mossad outposts. And of course, they did not expect there would be a retaliation from Pakistan, but there was a very strong retaliation. And obviously, there were no Mossad outposts. So that's the Iranian narrative, obviously. But this is a very serious thing that's happening. And not only because we had these missile attacks and retaliation by Pakistan, Iran hitting each other, but this also involves China now. So it's a major story, and you have and we in Pakistan basically have thousands of Chinese workers working on mega projects here. There's an economic corridor between Pakistan and China, and all of these and there are attacks on Chinese, but there are also attacks on Pakistani forces and Pakistani civilians. So Pakistan is now launching this comprehensive operation. We don't know yet the details, but this joins the border of Iran. And we're hearing from across the border, the Iranians are also attacking insurgents on their part of the Baloch territory. Their province is called Sistan Balochistan. So it's a very developing situation, but it's a huge headache, obviously for Pakistan, because forces and the Chinese workers are getting killed. But it's also a major issue for Iran, because Iran would not like to be distracted now with all the tensions in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, and whatever's happening in Iraq right now. And the reports we're hearing that the Iraqi front could become part of this wider war between Israel and Iran. So the Iranians don't want to see trouble in their backyard, in the Sistan Balochistan province, and with the border with Pakistan. So everybody's, and let me just be very clear, everyone is watching really how this operation on the Pakistani side is going to unfold, and whether both Pakistan and Iran will be able to manage this region and the tensions between them, because there have been many occasions when Pakistan accused groups based on Iranian soil of doing mischief inside Pakistan and committing terrorist acts. And the same thing, of course, the Iranians have been accusing Mossad, of all people, of being, being based on the Pakistani side and being involved in trying to destabilize the Iranian part of that area.
Right, and we should remember, of course, that Pakistan is a nuclear-armed state, so this is no joke when you start to see these kind of tensions building up. But I wanted to ask you, Ahmed, because you mentioned the Chinese workers, and it's true, China has been investing a lot in Pakistan's infrastructure, and they have been targeted in some of these terrorist attacks. Is there any sign that China might be looking to get more involved in security and in this situation?
It's all over the Pakistani media, Laura. The Chinese are not saying it openly, and one of their spokespeople was asked in Beijing just a day earlier, and she basically tried to sort of dodge the question. But the Pakistani media is full of reports that the Chinese would like to see more action. They would like to maybe have or station some of their security forces who would guard the Chinese workers. And so it's a very interesting situation. For one more reason, Laura, China also has very close strategic ties with Iran. And there are many Pakistani commentators who are basically asking this question, whether China has been able to also speak to Iran with regards to Pakistani concerns about militant groups that are based on Iranian soil. So is China also speaking to Iran about militant groups inside Iran that have been active in terror acts inside Pakistan? It's a very complex situation, as you can see. Let's see how it unfolds.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story, Ahmed. Thank you very much for breaking that down for us. Ahmed Qureshi there in Pakistan.